two cracking, great group contests are what we have in the running order for you today there at Sandown. Two Group 3s, the Solaria and the Atalanta, the big feature of today's show here on Bet Racing Nation Sky 212. Thanks for joining us. We're also going to be covering the listed races at Chester and, of course, the Beverley Bullet, a cracking race which I know one of our panellists, who I'm sure you've been anticipating the reappearance of, will love to get stuck into. A 5-furlong sprint at Beverley, Billy Blakeman, is just about what you're looking for, isn't it?
Morning, Thomas. Absolutely, yes. Yeah, cracking race.
And been deviling into the racing this week at all? Have you been impressed with what you saw at York last week, Luke?
Yeah, bits and bobs, of course, but I'll be going against you in the Beverley Bullet. I think we've been having this out all morning.
We did, yeah. I walked in, I said, Pearl Secret, Pearl Secret. I'm sure you guys at home have put your finger on Pearl Secret as well, but apparently the ground's too hard for Pearl Secret today, Billy. Sorry, Jimmy. Jimmy, how are you this morning?
Yeah, good. I don't know about the ground for Pearl Secret being too hard. I can't imagine it's too quick, but we'll see later on what the weather does.
Okay, we're going to get stuck into some news-based stuff. The news of the All Weather possibly coming to Newcastle, contentious story there. And Brian Toomey, whether he'll have a successful road back into racing, we're going to just discuss that in a moment. We're going to take a trip over to Twitter Corner. Carrie Armstrong's over there taking your tweets today and explaining how you could get your hands on some competition money, Carrie.
Thanks very much, Tom. Yes, of course, you've got two opportunities here. If you want to get yourself 30 quid, then get your flat doubles down for Sandown today. Sandown, and that's 205 and the 350. But if you want to go all the way and get yourself a chance to win 50 quid, that's our bullseye. You need to pick one of 4 winners from each race. So it's 4 races. You've got Newton Abbot, Chester, Beverley and Sandown, but you need to pick one winner from each of those. I've got a couple of tweets, so I'm going to kick things off because you've been great, but please get them in, because the more I have to read out, the more you've got tips. Speaking of tips, actually, if you want to call in and give us your 60-second nuggets of wisdom, that would be lovely. That's on 0207 908 7289. You'll be talking to the panel. But for now, I'm just going to crack through some of your tweets. Now, Bruce Block says Trey Coronas and Lucivia. Oh no, that's my handwriting. I'll come back to you, darling. Lee Collinger says Free Zone and Balti Boys for his flat double. I'm going to give you a nifty 50 now. Remember, that's one winner from each of the 4 races today. You've got Goodbye Dancer, English Summer, Fintry and Master of Suspense. Get more of those coming in and I'll read them out. Thanks very much, Tom.
Thanks, Carrie. Yeah, Fintry there, of course, a very eye-catching runner for Andre Farb in the Solaria, in the Atlanta Stakes today. Could be a good thing, that. But before we get stuck into today's racing, do get your tweets coming in to Carrie. But before we do, let's just touch on the news. It's not been an overly exciting week of racing news, but one where we've got to discuss, and I'd love to get your opinions across, because some of the top trainers have already given theirs, is the turf track being replaced with an all-weather one for the flat meets at Newcastle. Now, the new all-weather surface at Wolverhampton's working well. The weather at Newcastle is usually abysmal, so an all-weather track at Newcastle is a good thing, isn't it?
It's not, because their turf course is so good. I mean, you mentioned there that trainers are strongly against it. There was 24 hours ago there was a petition. Sorry, I completely forgot the word there. Started to stop the all-weather track, and trainers like Mark Johnston, Michael Dawes, Tom Tate, Anne Duffield, Ruth Carr, Richard Whittaker, Tom Dascombe and Donald McCain have all signed it and are all strongly against it.
There's 250 signatures in 24 hours, and that's from a lot of top trainers.
Why?
That train up there.
Why is there so many signatures?
Because it's oversaturated with crap racing.
Billy,
come on, you go to Kempton on a Kempton during the week and Lingfield.
And all weather. The North absolutely.
Yeah, but why do they not want one?
What?
Why do they not want one?
No, they want one. They don't want
Newcastle.
Yeah, they don't want to lose Newcastle.
It's a particularly good turf track. So, it's interesting that there's a load of northern trainers now, because the headline in the week was kind of some key Newmarket trainers were up in arms, and that was kind of a bit of an odd headline, really. But absolutely, the north needs an all-weather track. Whether Newcastle is the right track is the problem.
Catterick was the other one, wasn't
seem
it?
a better choice. I mean, it's not just a case of pick a. Us on Twitter, pick a northern track to turn into an all-weather track. It's not as simple, but Catterick would appear to be the better option of the two.
And I mean, there's got to be a deep consultation process here, because of course Sir Michael Stout, Luca Kamani, Roger Varon, amongst the ones that you mentioned as well, Nick. Now, Luca Kamani said that this is one of the fairest, best turf tracks. Like you said, great turf at Newcastle.
Mark Johnson said the same.
Mark Johnson said the same. If all of the top trainers are coming out and lending their opinion to keep the turf there at Newcastle, how can it possibly be in the best intentions of the sport to put an all-weather track down? How can they pass that?
Arc
Because
Racing don't
it's
care
Arc,
about
yeah,
that.
no.
All they want is money.
Yeah, they want
They're just revenue, you know what I mean? That's
want
all
profit.
they care about.
For me, Arc don't really care about racing whatsoever.
No,
they're
it's
about
all
to
about
make a
money at the
profit,
end of the day.
which is fair enough. Arc are a business; they need to make profits, but they don't care about racing.
They don't, you know, if you're going to wreck one of the best tracks in the country, well then, you know, short term it might make money, but long term it won't.
Okay, so if you were in charge of the racecourse there, of course you've got to think of the financial reasons as well. I want to know if you'd like to have the turf exchange for an all-weather track, and if I go around here, turf or all-weather, Jimmy?
Oh, turf.
Turf.
I think we'll keep it as turf.
Oh, I can't
Well,
believe
I know.
Billy. The all-weather,
The all-weather specialist.
the lover of dirt.
This is put the spotlight on Newcastle. If they keep it as turf, hopefully it will get a few more people going off to Newcastle to watch the racing on the turf. But the problem of saying because it's all weather, it's bad racing and it's bad for the sport isn't true.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that. No.
No. I mean, we do need some more weather tracks up north. There's only, 6% of tracks all weather, so there absolutely has to be tracks up north. But Newcastle wouldn't appear on the face of it to be the correct choice.
Okay.